Hmm. 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 Welcome back. Some of you made it in here pretty fast. Others of you are still stuck waiting, waiting for the Twitch ad. I'm sure that's what you're waiting for. Um, it is a good day today. It's actually really nice outside. If you guys have been outside, we're getting into the summer. We're getting into that summer time frame, and yeah, the weather outside has been phenomenal lately. I don't know if you guys are enjoying it as well as I am. I am. It's been really nice out. I've been doing yoga outside. My wife did yoga outside today too. It's been really fun. Get outside. Go outside if you can. Maybe you're in a place where it's not so nice. I did this last year, and somebody was in Australia, and they're like, no, it's not nice right now. There's somebody from New Zealand, August from New Zealand. I haven't seen him in a while. He's been around here. 3 dog walks already. You and your dog? Yeah, you've got all the reason in the world. My wife's out walking our dog right now. I feel, yeah. The sun is setting. Oh, it's amazing. It's doing yoga outside, either under the hot sun, which is really fun if you're a sun worshiper. I kind of am, and or if you want to do 50 degrees here and a bit wet. Aha, see. And if you, yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, you know what else is really fun, particularly in the south when it gets really hot and muggy, is to wait until like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. when the sun goes way down and the stars are all bright, and do yoga outside. We used to go to the memorial, to the memorial. It's 7:03. I should probably get started instead of ramble on about doing yoga outside. We have a lot to cover as usual. Just a reminder, we are on day 9 of what will be at least 100 days of boosting. My 20-year-old month does yoga at daycare. 20-month-old. And then until yesterday, she said, "Daddy, do yoga." Yeah, yoga is good for you, man. It is. You know what? Yoga moves your body around, and do the research. Your endocrine system does not work unless you move. There's no heart to pump around all the stuff that travels through your endocrine system, including stuff that removes waste. This is true. It's not just some liberal hippie drivel. This is science. So go look it up. Move your body. It's good for it. And let's do something else that's good for us. File systems on Unix. I'm going to keep saying Unix because Linux is not Unix, I know, but it's it's in the same vein. So we are on day 9 here. A couple of changes. I hope you don't mind. I darkened the colors a little bit. Put some border around things. Some of the chat is going to be hidden behind me for the time being. Apologize for that. I could probably fix that right now, actually. Why don't I do that? I'm going to split this in half. I'll split this Tmux pane in half. We're going to do Tmux, by the way. We are not there yet, but we will be doing some Tmux. And just a little bit more. How about that? How's that? Blank pane. I'll just leave that blank there. It's just not so pretty, but at least they're not gonna. Actually, I could put a matrix there. What about that? Should I do that? Should I put the matrix behind me so like I'm in front of the matrix all the time? That's just distracting. It's like Mr. Rob's got some random thing behind him. What is that? What's going on there? That's really distracting. No. There. That'll do, pig. Are we on day 10? I thought we were on day 9. Please tell me we're on day 9. I don't know what day we're on. I'm that guy. We're day 9. Don't make me second guess it. Yeah, there's day 8. So we are on day 9. All weekend I've been looking at things. This is why I'm confused, because I've been looking at statuses that say day 9, Monday 7 to 9. So that's why. Yeah. Happy Monday. Shut up, Greg. We need Greg. Greg, you should teach this. You'd be better than me. We're going to play around with our files today. So if you're just joining me and us and we and whatever you want to call it, you should have, at this point, you should have a container. You should have Unix in there. You should have it installed. You should be able to remove software and add it and query it and do all that stuff. And if you haven't done that, you need to go catch up. Fun fact, Day 9 is a pioneer to the streaming community. Data TV? Really? Did not know that. There you go. Day 9 TV. I'll have to go watch Day 9 TV. I've never heard. And so what are we going to do? So we're continuing Day 9. Day 9 will at least be 100 days. Probably more like 100. I like 108, which is a magical number. Did you know there's 108 Mala beads and Catholic prayer beads? Coincidence? And so 108. We're probably going to go longer than that. If you guys want to go look at the boost, again, the boost URL is there, github.com/rtvxrob/boost. Click the star and the watch on that GitHub if you want, and then you'll be notified and all that. And eventually, we're going to get to coding and stuff, and we're revising our approach on that. First coding language will be Shell because you're already doing it. Next one will probably be C, maybe Python, but probably C. And then we'll decide what comes after that, whether it's Python or Go, depending on how much time we have, how long it takes for you to learn it. And we'll go from there. So we are still in the process of learning a whole bunch of commands. And so I'm going to go ahead and mention the book again. There is a video on this if you go back a couple days. If you're looking for something more substantial to follow along with and you want some more details or something than what I'm doing, there's a book called Learning the Linux Command Line, or The Linux Command Line by William Schatz. It's listed in the boost there, so you can go find it on your own. Here we go, the Linux Command Line, and you can go find that. And do whatever you want. I don't know why, I just like stuff. I'm fixing stuff. So otherwise, we're just going to kind of hit and miss everything and stuff. So we're back to Day 9. Here we go. And so I'm going to be making a series of videos here. The first video is going to be about working with files and directories from the command line. And we're going to stick with the real basics here. If somebody sees a command that I'm not doing, let me know, and we'll cover it. So I'm going to put that as our title for now. And hopefully that'll fit. All right, let's start this video. Ready, go. All right, so the first video for today is on working with files and directories in Linux. And I tell a little story about this. I was working with a sort of how do I say this without sounding bad? Someone who had no technical experience, who had raised many children, who was female, a mom. And she was really excited about learning how to code and doing everything, but she had no point of reference. She, in fact, didn't even know. I tried to explain URLs to her, universal resource locators, websites with the slashes and all that stuff, as being just another way of, doing file directories. And she's like, what's that? And it wasn't because she was stupid. It was because she had been using a Mac, and the Mac had kept her from understanding files and directories and their organization underneath the hood. Well, the moral of the story is, and she was extremely driven. She worked as much as she could as her family would allow. Well, eventually, she had to give it up. She just didn't have the time. But when I showed her the command line, what we're going to do today, she said, "You need to stop. You need to teach me this right now," because she recognized the power of manipulating files from the command line. And I want to help you guys get a sense of this. So obviously, we're going to learn how to do, moving stuff around and making new files and all that stuff that you would normally do with the graphic browser, like an Explorer or something like that. And we'll show the comparison of that. But once she saw how easily she could remove and reorganize everything, she wanted to have that power immediately. And so hopefully that's the case with you as well. This is probably one of the most compelling reasons to go with a command line interface, even if you have VS Code. So because you can always pop out into VS Code and use the terminal and do that if you're going to use it. So and I have one other story too. It's kind of an antithesis of this. Somebody gave me a presentation at a company that I work for. This is relatively recent, so I have to be careful. And it's just a very advanced person, very advanced machine learning person. And they went to rename a file, and they did all of the other Docker, Kubernetes stuff from the command line. Actually, just Docker stuff from the command line, and they did not know how to reload a file. This is not an exaggeration. Presentation to 70 people. Somebody who's using Docker on the command line goes out to rename a file and uses the file explorer to clicks on the name, changes the name, closes it, goes back to the terminal, and then executes the Docker command for the next thing. That happened. That happened within the last 3 weeks. And when I saw that, I was like, a lot of times people think, oh, everybody just knows this. I'm like, no, this is somebody who is employed as a Docker person who did not know how to rename a file from the command line. And they literally did that. So this is how they did it. So let me actually see if I can get in temp directory here. Actually, no, let's go into our container, shall we? So I'm going to run my workspace. Oopsie. You guys remember how to get into your workspace again? This is Docker. Maybe a refresher if you're Docker. No, don't. You're going to do run or you're going to do attach. Which one are you going to do? I'm just going to do a brand new one. So I'm going to do run -IT. And I'm going to throw mine away. Don't do RM if you want to keep yours around. Remember we talked about that. They'll just delete it. The docker.run-rm. I'm going to run my workspace that I already built. Did Docker start? Cool. And then did Docker attach? Great. So Docker run it rm, and then I'm going to do the name. I guess we can name it. I'm going to name it playing with files. How about that? I don't know. Playing with files. And then what? And I got to give it. And then okay. So I'm going to use my workspace. You can use Ubuntu or whatever you're doing. I'm going to use my workspace I've been building. So let's see if that works. Damn. What did I miss, people? Dash H playing with space. Missing operand. What am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm missing something. What am I missing? I'm missing something. I don't know what, though. I promise not to make you wait too long. I promise. I promise. Workspace. Oh, you know what? I just I just broke mine right before this meeting. I broke mine because I was playing with the entry point script. Yeah, never mind. I'll come back to it later. It's my you don't want to know. I played around with my entry. Those of you who do know, I played around with my entry point script. I broke it, so I'm just gonna use Ubuntu. No, we'll use Kali because it looks so cool. Where's our Kali again? We're gonna go to our Kali. Okay, so if you want to do Kali Linux as your super cool Linux to use, which is still based on Ubuntu, so you can use that if you want to instead of Ubuntu. Docker-it-rm. That means I'm going to throw it away and I'm going to run Kali rolling distro. Wow, look at all that power I have now. Yeah, it's user and entry point. Yeah, you got it, Sir John. You got it. Oh, privileged. Yes, we actually don't need privileged, but if you're gonna do Kali, and Kali's got a bug. So true story. No, Arch has a bug. Never mind. And so anyway, all right. So we have this super cool Kali Linux running to learn our file system stuff. Right? How many minutes? I only got 18 minutes. I got to hurry. All right. So we're going to learn all the commands to do stuff with files, and you want to make sure you are in a repo. I mean, a container to do this. This is one of the biggest advantages of being in a repo, because if I delete something that I shouldn't, I don't know, I'm fine, right? Because I can just exit the container and all is good again in the world. Today, by the way, I just so you know, today I was writing a script, an entry point script, and at one point I put a safety check in my script and everything to make sure I didn't delete the wrong thing. And while I was debugging it, it went wrong. And I thought for a second that I had deleted something. And I've done that in the past. So one of the reasons to use a container is, let me just say it again. One of the reasons to use a container for development is because if you screw something up during the development while you're scripting, nobody dies. Your operating system doesn't have to be restored, and you don't have to go back and put stuff back in. You can snap back. You can start a new container. Nobody cares. If that single advantage is not enough for you as a developer to consider using containers, I don't know what will convince you, because it is that single safety net is something every developer who's been around for any amount of time will tell you is very valuable. Unless you have your host mounted, well, that's another time. That's another way to do it. Yeah, and yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, so right now we're running in sandbox mode, so anything you do inside your container is not tied to anything outside of it, and that's the default. All right, so what are we gonna do? Let's talk about what are up with files. So the first thing to notice is that we have root access on Kali. And containers, you always have root access by default, unless you want to create an account over here. And we did talk. I think we talked about that's in basic system administration. Did we do basic system administration already? I don't remember. Did we? I don't think we did. Yeah, so we have to do that before. That's coming next. All right. Or did we? Did we do it? Did we do it? I don't think we did. I can't remember. Did we do it? Someone help me. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and do it. Understanding your Linux file system. So what is Linux file system? A Linux file system is just, you know what, you've used a computer before. It's just a bunch of directories which stupid people decided to call folders. And it's just a bunch of directories. The reason they're called directories is because there's lots of things in the directories, kind of like a phone book. In fact, it used to be called, there was a time, it's behind you, is a date? Okay, good. Then you know how to make a account. Okay, fine. I was just wondering. So if you want to make a user, add user u, and we'll just do that. How's that sound? All right. I need to turn my keys back on. There you go. All right. So now you can see me type stuff. So now I'm going to change over to that user. These are commands you haven't learned yet, but you can use them if you want to. We're going to be u. So now I'm u. Oh, wow. Look at that. So this is a minimal installation of Kali Linux. You likely will want to supplementary tools. Common minimum setup. I mean, there's a lot of things I can do here. I don't need to. So this particular crazy prompt is showing me that I'm in the home directory and I can do kinds of things here. So you don't ever want to be root. Okay. Even if you have root access, you don't want to be root. Why? Because if you screw up something, the permissions aren't going to save you. You accidentally remove the wrong directory and as root, and it just goes. It's just really bad idea to do anything as root. You should probably try to use things as sudo when you're going to start to do that. Well, we haven't talked about sudo yet, really, so we're going to get that. Let's do the file system stuff first. So what are file systems? Well, file systems are sudo apt. I think this is going to work for me. I'm going to have to break my own device. Apt install sudo make me a sandwich. Yeah, this is famous xkcd. Apt install. What was I gonna do? Oh, tree. Tree is just I don't think tree is even around. Oh wait, we have to do app. You can't install software until what did I do wrong? You should know this already. This event has been reported. Apt update. So you got to apt update before you can do anything else, unless you've already done that. We're gonna get all the software. So apt install. Or am I trying to install? Tree. I just want to show you tree because tree is a program. Excuse me. Tree is a program that will show you, will show you kind of the structure. So, tree, pipe it to more. It's a pager. We talked about that. So this gives you kind of a sense of you have the current directory, which is dot. And inside of it, it has a bin directory, which is actually a symbolic link, which we'll talk about. That means it's not really there. It's just a pointer that goes over here. But it's still an entry in the inodes table. That's the biggest difference between a symbolic link and a hard link. If the symbolic link is an inode entry and a hard link is not. And blown away? And yeah, I bet you were. So if you see too much, you can type tree and then pipe it to your pager, more or less. Depends on what you have on there. Apparently I don't have less, so just more. And you'll see all the stuff that's there. Why are the directories colored differently? Because they are colored differently, just to show you that they're directories. Okay. Now I actually don't have. So this is something called dir colors, dir colors. And what that does is, so first of all, how do you look at stuff? You saw me do ls, right? Let's do the ls command. So ls shows you all the files. ls space -l shows you the long listing of the files. All right, and this is everything that's here. It shows you. So we're going to break this down. So we'll start from left to the right. So over here you have the actual thing, and it's kind of color coded based on what it is. And what it is kind of listed over here. In this case, the L means it's a link. It's a symbolic link, which we'll talk about. And it's pointing to this other thing over here. And that's a good thing to do. So like I have a bunch of scripts files, and some of my scripts files, this is my own system, are pointing. So my wish list is pointing to Zet. And this same program does many things depending on how it is called. It's called a multi-call. And so that's an advantage of that. So what kind of things do you have in a file directory? You probably already know this, right? You have documents, you have things that can run or be executed, and you have directories that contain other things, folders. And then you have links, which are not the same as a shortcut, okay? People always try to compare links to shortcuts. They are kind of links, symbolic, S-I-M. Yeah, links, symbolic links, and hard links. And we're going to talk about those. And by the way, because you have containers, you can understand links much better than other people because you can look at something called BusyBox. I can't wait to talk about it. So this is a link that's pointing here. And we're going to talk about the file system itself a little bit. There's no way we can talk about the Linux organization of stuff on the system. The first thing to know, though, is that / is root. Okay, so the root of the file system, that's it. You can't go past that. There's nothing else, right? And these directories are really short named because once upon a time you could only have 8 characters for a name, and that's where that comes from. And I'm just going to give you a whirlwind tour of what is in this root file structure. So in bin is where, all the major binaries go. Usually if there's something called bin, that's where anything that runs goes, not just a binary. Binary being, a digit. Let me show you. So here's what a binary looks like inside. So the ls command, this is what it actually looks like. One of the coolest things about VI is you can actually open binary files. Make sure you don't save anything. But this is called an elf binary. You can see the elf at the front. And that tells, that's a binary, right? Well, if I were to look at another command like links is, in my case, is a script. So both of those are executables, and both of those qualify as something that would be found in a bin directory. /boot is where the kernel of the system lives. That's what gets called. And unless you're going to get into Linux system administration, you don't probably want to play around in there. /dev is really great. Actually, true story. I found a hacker who set up himself a device under /dev, pretending to be a device, and I caught him with a tripwire program that I wrote. Or used. It was the tripwire from the day, but I'd set up on my system and I reported him and everything. That's a story for another day. But that, if you want to hide something, that's where you go. So we're a Cali, so let's go hide something. Because why? Because there's lots of stuff here, right? Yeah, and these files are really weird. What is this about? Well, let's do ls-l again. Oh my gosh, what kind of files are these? So we're going to come back to that. That's like too much for right now. I don't want to confuse you too much. So ls-l. So here we have symlinks and 4 files. The main files, though, are they just like, it's okay, watch. Touch, blah. No, don't do that. That's just, no. You can hear, the DSP is your sound device. You can actually hear your random memory. No, that would be a bad idea. All right, so I just used another command called touch. Touch has 2 purposes. And remember, we know about man, right? Man touch, not touch man. This is just to do 2 things, really: to create a new file and to update the timestamp on a file when it was last updated. So ls-l, so ls-l blah, and we can see I have this file. It has this nothing in it. It's owned by root. It's owned by the root group. By default, when you create a new user, a group matching the username these days is created. It wasn't always the case, but that's the way it is now. How much stuff is in it? If you want to, if you want to put a lot of stuff in there, you can. This right here, if you want a more human readable version, depending on the version of Linux, you can put an H in here, and that'll give you like 0K or bytes or something. This here is the date the file was last modified, and that's what I meant by touch. So if I touch it, so there's entire volumes of jokes made about the sentences and the innuendo you can make from Linux commands. We're not going to go there, not today anyway. So see how it updated it? So now it's like 27 seconds, whatever. It didn't do much updating. Well, anyway, so that update, that might be the creation time, but it updates the last modified time of the file if you put something in there. No VI. Okay, fine. Echo blah to blah. Now we're going to get into what that just did, but you know, be patient. So now I have 5 whole things in there, 5 little. Okay, what are you doing? I have 6 minutes. All right. So ls. So this is a regular file. Over here you have the permissions. Read, write, execute. If you're wondering where RWX rob comes from, that's it. That's the primary place, the origin of it. Read, write, execute. Read, write, execute for the group, root in this case, and read, write, execute for everybody else. Okay, so that's file permissions in a nutshell. We're going to be messing with them and changing them and everything later. We're not going to do that, but I just need to tell you what this is before you go. So as you can tell, ls-l, you can see what kind of file it is. So D means directory, L means link. If you want to look at the other ones, you can do man ls, and it'll tell you all of them. I don't even remember them all. But it is kind of fun to look at, to go in /dev and look at all the weird stuff, right? I mean, the stuff in here is weird. Like, what is this? So this is a symbolic link, so that you know. This is a character special device. So I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try. This is what the one thing I want you to take away from this is that everything, including your very terminal itself, is a file. Everything is a file. In fact, I can cat stuff to TTY. Guys, am I going to do this right? Echo blah to, is it cat to, no. TTY, I'm going to try something. Yeah, there, you see that? Did I do that right? I think I did. So you can actually send stuff to the TTY right here, this device, and it will put it on your screen, because everything, this is what the takeaway, everything on Linux and Unix is a file. And that's really great, because later on when we talk about poking holes into containers, we can poke a hole into the container that's a file that represents the entire graphic interface. It's called X, and it's a socket, and that socket allows you to connect everything. Docker itself is also a socket. A socket is something you can write to. They're called Unix sockets, and they operate a lot like the internet. I think that's probably too much for you to digest today, so we'll get into more of that later. Let me go back to the boost content, make sure we cover everything. Oh, directories. So how do we do everything? So we're gonna, if you want a new directory, make dir gives you a make dir. Now I have a dir directory in my. This is like so bad. let me go back to being a user, because I'm like really getting distraught by the stuff we're doing right now. We're not doing things as we should be. So okay, so we're inside my home directory. This is more likely. So I need to make a place for my repos. Make dir repos or ls. Okay, there's my repos. ls-l. All right, I have permissions. It's made by me, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go inside of it. So CD moves you around into the things. We talked about that the other day. So CD into repos. Now I'm inside repos. Now it says I'm in a home directory. All right, so now I'm going to make a new file in here. Okay, make another one. Let's make a link called github.com. All right, and pwd. PWD shows you where you are. It's like this is where I am. We talked about that already. So, and inside here, I got to GitHub. Well, I want to go into it. CD G tab. Don't waste your typing. Go into GitHub and GitHub. Make a directory in here. RWX rob ls. I got some CDR tab. And now if I type pwd, look at how deep down into the bowels of the system I am, right? So it tells me exactly where I am, so I don't get lost. And now I want to start making a file. Well, we can touch a new README file, And now I have a new empty file that I might want to edit eventually. Now we haven't done any editing yet. We're going to do that hopefully today, but we need to learn VI. So I don't even have VI on here. So I'm just going to echo some echo just prints whatever you type to the screen. If you want to put quotes around it, great. So echo something interesting. And then we're going to redirect that. That's going to blow away the file and add to the end of it. With this redirection, which we're going to cover in a different video, we're going to write readme. And now I can look at the content of the file with readme with cat. So I see there's a file there. If I do ls-l, you see that that file has some content in it. And you know, you got stuff here. How do I delete the file though? Oh man, I screwed it up. First of all, let's say we named it wrong. So we're going to say readme. Maybe we didn't capitalize it, which you should always capitalize it. me.md. So, oh man, I screwed it up. Okay, how do I rename it? mv readme.md, and I'm going to rename it to readme me.md. All right. Oh man, I did it wrong again. Okay, so move readme.md. See that tab to readme.md, and then I'm going to go back and fix the part that I missed. Readme.md. So play around with that. And now I have it. Okay, so let's say I put it in the wrong place. It's supposed to be in here. Gosh dang it! All right, so move does not only rename things, but you can do move tab and then type the name of the directory. Now this is a directory. See the slash at the end? It did that on its own. I didn't type that. I just typed and it did it. I'm gonna move it into there, and now when I cd into rwx rob and I ls, it's there now. Okay. If I wanted to move the file back up, I could say move readme ... and that would go, hey, where's my file? Where'd my file go? Okay, well, here's my file now. It's up above. So it's a little bit harder to visualize, but not too much, you know. And if you really want to visualize the whole thing, you can get the tree command, and there's lots of helper commands for this kind of thing, but tree is just a good old fashioned one that will show you that. I wonder if that shows it better with your, I'm just curious about something. Apt install, I only have a few seconds left. Oh no. Confirmation if you want. Yeah, anytime you want to add -v to a thing, it generally will help with that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Those are, did we cover all the commands? I think we did. So let's type a tree here. Yeah, still we got that. Okay, so we're about done with this time on this video. I've been kind of going on it. Copy, RM and LN, we still haven't covered. So let's hurry with that really quick. The new line before, I know it is, but we're not going to talk about that. So it's leaked. All right, so let's do this. So let's say I want to remove the file completely. So, and then we'll be done with this video. I know it's a long one, but you'll be fine. We covered a lot of stuff here. So, oh, by the way, let's try that. All right. So let's say you're in the home directory and you want to get there fast. Okay. Tab is your friend. CD tab. There's nothing else in here. Okay. Well, I'll type R tab. All right. Then I'm going to type tab again. What? Didn't even have to type anything. Tab. Well, besides tab. And then RWX rob. Boom. All right. So assuming we can move this thing back here. Now I want to remove the README file. It's like, or let's make a garbage. Now we have garbage in here. How to remove garbage? RM garbage. Okay. And that doesn't ask. If you're afraid of that, you can alias it to interactive -r garbage and say, no, there's no garbage. Touch garbage. Remove -i garbage. You don't need to do that if you don't want. I'm just telling you it's the thing. Should I really remove it? Yes. When you're first beginning, if you're scared, you can alias that, and I'll show you how to do that to remove that. All right. Now, if there's a directory here, so make dir makes a directory, right? Garbage dir. Now, how do I get rid of that? Well, RM doesn't work. It actually does, but it needs some help. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to get a lot of people to disagree with me here. Use RM dir. And it will save you a lot of headache. A lot of people don't use it because it's annoying when it has something in it. See how it just deleted it? Well, let's try it again. I'm going to add it back. Okay, but this time I'm going to put something in it. So anything. It can be an empty file. Anything. And now my rmdir doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work because it's in something's in there. And I can't force it. I could try to do -f or any kind of thing. It won't work. I actually like that because that tells me there's something in there that I haven't dealt with. Usually it's a .git directory, by the way. And it's like, I need to still deal with something in here. I want to explicitly delete all this stuff in here before I just destroy it. But, and you'll hear about this command by lots of people. People on Twitch love to troll people and go in there and say, hey, go do this command. I'm about to tell you the command that they will try to troll you with. rm-r. Okay? rm-r says not only delete the directory, but recursively delete everything in it. So it's really dangerous, super dangerous command. But you know, you should know what you're doing when you do it. If you do it like that, it just goes away. Goes away. If you add rm-rf, it's even more dangerous because then yeah, everybody puts that in there. They always think they're so funny. But you want to see what happens on a container if you do that? Don't do this on your actual system. Make sure you're in a container. You've been warned. If you do that in an actual system, watch what happens. It doesn't do anything. So you can tell the Twitter trolls to be quiet because they don't know enough to know that that command does not work. And they're just repeating some crap that somebody else repeated, but they've never actually tried it because they don't know how to use containers, in which case they could try it and actually not be afraid of it because they're noobs and they're just trying to troll you. Because if they had gotten into a container, into a system where they could actually test it like you just did, then they would see that it obviously protects you from any damage. It's still a dangerous command, but it's so dangerous, it's actually been coded now in RM to protect you. All right, so enough of that. Let's talk about linking real quick, and then we'll wrap up this video. And again, this is great stuff to practice in a container. Don't be afraid if you're in a container. You can, even if you don't want to, you have maybe a nice pristine container, maybe you just want to fire up another one to throw away later, right? This is what's so great about containers. All right, so the next thing is linking. So let's say you write a script. Let's write a script really quick. I mean, just don't judge me here. I'm going to do this really fast. I'm going to install just VI. Oh no, fuck. Oops, I swear. I'm not supposed to swear. We'll just have to install VI. There is no VI. There is only Zool. Yes. Okay. Good old Vim. I could have done Vim tiny, but oh well. All right. So back to you. Here we go. So now I am you again. So I'm going to make a file. So touch, hello, right? Actually, no, let's do this. Touch greet. And now I have this file. And I wasn't planning on doing this in this video, so we're going to be over a little bit, but oh well. So inside of greet, we're going to make some code. We're going to say echo hello. And if you know how to script, don't give me crap. I know I'm doing it simply. So greet, right? So I can do, if I want to run that file, I can just do shell greet, and that'll run it. Okay. Now, but let's say I want another, I don't know, for whatever reason, I want a different one. I want to say, hi, right? So, I want to greet, I want to link ln-l for symbolic link. I want to link greet, to hi. Did I do that right? Oh no, -s. What am I doing? Sorry. I totally spacing. All right. So //hi. And now, oh, can't do it. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Hi. So hi says hello, right? But there's a reason for this, because what I can do now is I can actually do something called multicall, which I wasn't going to show you today, but I'm going to anyway. So there. So now I can say this. I can say, test, $0 equals, I probably shouldn't do this right now because it's not going to end well. Please don't get stressed if you don't know what's happening. Let's do, no, let's do this. Equals, equals hi, and echo hi, and exit. All right, see if it works. I don't know. We're going to see. So if that were actually a program, this is all stuff we're going to do later. Don't panic. So I made that. Now it's an executable file, so I can run it. I have to put a shebang line if I'm going to do that. Actually, I don't, because it's a shell script, which is assumed. But okay, so now I'm going to run greet. And now you can't do that. You could do that. In this case, you could. Yeah. /greet. /greet. /hi. Hi. You're like, what happened? What happened is multicolon. So there, we're going to get into special variables, but what it did is it said, is this crazy little bunch of, chicken scratch says, take the current name of the thing that's running, and if the name of that thing is hi, then echo hi and exit. Otherwise, echo hello, right? Or greetings. And this is going to allow me to do the last one. So if I do greet, it should say greetings, right? And I do hi, it should say hi. But here's the last one that we don't normally use. You might end up making one on accident, but it's very rarely used. So this last one we made a link that is actually an inode entry. That means it's an entry in the file system. The next one we're going to make actually uses some data positions inside of an existing inode to say, I am also you. I know that's confusing, but it just doesn't, it means it doesn't have an entry in the inode. There's nothing to delete. Well, there is, but it's complicated. Let me just show you. Okay, so ln, if we do ln without the -s, and we say, okay, I want hi. No, wait, what are we gonna do? Let's do. Yeah, let's make another one. Let's make hello. Hello. Let's say greet. Hello. Now this is a weird one. Because look, you're like, this is exactly the same file, but look over here. See this over here? What happened? This here is a number you very rarely ever see in a directory. It's the number of things in the directory. If you see a number like this, though, on a file, that means that these two files are referring to the exactly same space in memory, and that they are literally the same thing. And this is how many of them are pointing at each one. And so that's called a hard link. And I had to show you that because if we're going to do ln, you have to know the difference between a hard link and a symlink. So this is a symlink. This is what a symlink looks like. It always has full permissions. It has an L over here. That's an extra entry in the inode table. And these are hard links. These are, both of these entries are pointing to the same exact thing. And the only distinguishing factor is right here. You can delete one without deleting the other. And so for better or worse, right? By the way, you can always delete a link and have it not affect the actual file. If you write to a link or put something in there, then yeah, it affects the thing on the other that it's pointing to. But if you delete the links or even the hard link, it doesn't delete the actual thing. Default to that comportment, I don't know. So if we do greet here and we change our greet program to say, we can do another test, and we can say if it's hello, then I want to say hello. So and now we can say /greet. We're going to run the greet program. We see greetings, /hello, and we see hello, /hi, and we see hi. So we've got the same exact program behaving differently. Now, the difference between a symbolic link and a hard link is I don't know which one of these programs is the main program. And with the symbolic link, I do, right? The other thing about a symbolic link, if I move the code around, the symbolic link breaks. Watch. So if I move greet, this stuff is not covered anywhere else, so I'm making a longer video about it. I'm sorry, deal with it. So if I say greet like that, right? Watch what happens. We get, oh no, you have a broken link. And now hi no works. Hi no worky. But does hello still work? Yeah. So that's a little weird, huh? So I really want you to get to digest what just happened. So if you use a symbolic link and you move something, it breaks because this is a separate entry that's pointing to a thing in finite space. These two things are pointing directly to the same space in memory, and no matter what you change them, they will never break. They will never break. So some people would argue that that's why hard links are better. Sort of the problem with that is that you can see a file is a hard link, but you can just never know what the other thing is. I've never figured out that way. Does anybody know? Does anybody know how to look at what the other thing in a hard link is? To see all the things that hard link to something. So now I'm going to blow your mind. So if you go, so there's actually an entire Linux distribution that has one program called BusyBox, and I cannot talk about containers without talking about it. This is the most important distro for containers. And if you do an ls-l now and you look at this, you see, oh my gosh, look at all these things that it has in it. Shell, Zcat, all these programs. They're not programs. They're all references to the same thing. Look at how big they are. They're all the same size. They're all the same thing. I could delete any one of these and it would still be there. I would just have to name it. And it uses exactly the same multicol thing that we just talked about. So let me show you another one. So Alpine is the second most popular. It had their first conference this last week, apparently, ever. So Alpine is the other big container one. And this one, Alpine does not care about inodes as much, I guess. But if you list this one, you see this one, instead of using hard links, they used symbolic links, right? And BusyBox doesn't care. BusyBox, as we saw with the hello example, BusyBox doesn't care what way it's being linked to. It just looks at its name and it uses this multi-call approach. So that's a long time. I could probably make a video just about the linking, and maybe I will break that video out into its own thing. Just so you can understand links and how they work. But all of that is a part of the Linux file system. We did talk about how everything is a file, but the last thing I'm remembering is even processes are files. So when you run ps-ef, oh, it's not over there. Never mind. So when you run, look at all the running processes on a system. Those running programs called processes, those are all entries in /proc, which is it's a file system that's not real. Some places that /temp file system is not real. You turn the computer off, it goes away. So those are all things to consider when you're talking about the Linux file system. I hope it's not too much, but I do think that level of detail is required for you to get what's going on, particularly in the container world, and you can leverage that to your advantage. Full disclosure, I'm actually making a tool called Command Box, which is leveraging this kind of thing. I actually really love this topic. So this is, if you want to watch this project, this is a project that allows you to create modular BusyBox-like programs yourself. My Pomo timer is using that, which is yelling at me right now because I'm 14 minutes over. All right. So I think that's the end of that video. Is there any other quick questions about the file system? I know that was like really fast, but we covered everything here. We covered move, copy, remove, ln. We did not cover the fancy type of files. I'm going to let you just know. You got to go study those on your own. FIFOs and all that stuff. Okay. What about LSAL for hard links? Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that might be the thing I was looking for, actually. Yeah, I think you might be onto something there. ls dash, was it AL? Oh yeah, well, yeah. This shows you. Is that? Am I doing the same one? So this shows you hard links right here. So here's the hard links. It doesn't. I thought somebody found some way to tell you where the other file is that's hard linked to the file. Here, watch this. Watch how crazy this is. I can move great. I can move hello into /temp, and I go into /temp, and I can ls-l, and it's still there. It still works. Doesn't matter where it is on the system. That is not true for symbolic links. Okay, so yeah. That's probably a video I'll do all by itself. I'll just cut that video. Anybody else have any questions about that stuff? But linking, if you're going to get into system administration in particular, linking and mounting files and all that stuff is really, really big deal. In fact, people will take stuff over the internet and they will turn like a Dropbox, has done. They will turn like a Google Drive or a Dropbox, something like that, and they'll make a / point, a mount point, and if you CD into that directory, it's not really there. It's called network attached storage, and it means it actually lives on some computer someplace else. And using the network attached storage like that is very common, particularly in cloud native when you're working with a big organization. And doing ls-l is important for you to know, what's there and how it's affected, because, listing or copying to something on a network attached storage device might take far longer than just copying it over between two hard drives. In fact, each hard drive is in a different place. And if you have WSL, if you cd into /mnt, you'll see that mnt/c represents the C drive on your computer. That's been a long, very technical conversation, but I really feel like it's important that we get that. To display the inodes, I did not know that one. I don't know that one. Haven't used that one very much. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So that gives you the exact inode number. Wow. Wow, look at that. That's super cool. That's the inode number. You can run out of inodes. Inodes are a finite resource on the system. I have known systems to run out. But stat is a very useful command too. Does it tell you the inode? We didn't cover stat. I mean, those are this is supposed to be beginner stuff. Just talking about links at all is kind of pushing it. But so yeah, stat. Stat's cool too. I actually used stat today. Yeah, there you go. We haven't used find yet, but Maluba, remember us to bring find up again later when we do this. So stat, you can do stat-u on a file to see, or stat. It was a dash. No, that's valid. I know that's valid. It's not cap. Oh, it's. I think it's printf. I can't remember. I just did a stat today, and I can't remember what it was. I think it's printf. Yeah, anyway, stat does give you the information about the file system and what's mounted and what's linked and stuff. It's maybe more that you want to know, but if you're getting into Linux, you might as well know that there's all kinds of rabbit holes to go down. I mean, we've talked about most of the main files, but there's at least, I would say, 7 more file types, inode types, that represent different things: block storage devices and raw data and TTYs and also. They're sort of this, just know they're there. Again, the purpose of the boost is to tell you what's there and what you need to know, not necessarily everything that I'm understanding. So I just went over the stuff that's largely not covered by other tutorials. Every time I've seen anything that covers Unix or Linux, it almost never talks about hard links and symbolic links. And in the containerized world, particularly with Alpine and BusyBox being the primary base containers for everything these days, you really have to understand what they are. And so I bumped that up in priority for this video. All right, I'm going to end that one. And you can go play around with your inodes and stuff like that. And I can actually throw this entire repo away and not have to worry. I'll keep it up for now though. So I talked about LN for multi-call executables, difference between hard and soft. All right, so somebody mentioned find there, so we're going to get on to find as well. We got an hour left. That's a pretty good time. And we're going to cover basic pipelines and indirection. Ownership. Man, we got a lot to do. I think we can do it though. All right. So find stuff. Find stuff in and out of any commands I'm missing there. I mean, here are the main ones, right? I'm gonna put find last. We're gonna be on find forever. So where do we put sort? That's another one. I think we need to put sort over here. Yeah. Wait, we didn't do users. Users was yesterday. We didn't cover that yet. Dang it. We didn't do users yet. You guys told me we did. We didn't. I need to read this again. Tomorrow's VI. Unique is cool. I know. Unique and sort. Where do they go though? I think they go in here. I do. I think they go in here. I think use unique to find unique lines. Use sort to sort lines. This stuff's all in Over the Wire, by the way, the game. It was in the list whether you did or not. Oh, was it? Okay. I must have done it twice. I think I did it twice. All right, grab file, which WC find. We'll do WC over here. God, this is where I want to do PAE and a bunch of other stuff. I think find should be last. I really do. What else am I missing? Cat. Oh God, we have to have cat in there. Yeah, let's do cat. Let's do cat first. I think cat is in there actually. Cut now. Cut, awk, and said, and tr are not allowed. Not yet, anyway. Yeah. To what do we say? Concatenate? Is it below? Yeah. I put echo here too. Never cat to a pipe. This is a different problem. I kind of feel like cat doesn't. No, cat does find stuff though. Cat is used all the time to find stuff. So cat is both used to find stuff and to print stuff. So you got the bandit? Oh wow. Well, we can get back to that. Use cat to display lines of a file or dump lines. I mean these are the main ones. I mean I'm sure we'll be adding more to it. All right. It's always been organic like this. So this time they'll have an outline. Find stuff in and out of files. Grep, egrep. I mean this awk and all that stuff make it fancier, right? Perl is really, really good for this. If you guys think of something, let me know during the video. Okay, I got to start one really quick. So I didn't take a break, but we got videos to do. I only got an hour left. All right, so let's do xargs. I don't know. Xargs only works if you're going to be calling another program. So I think it's probably out for now. All right, I'm going to start another video. Okay, another video here. I know that last video about files and stuff might be overwhelming with all the links and stuff, but take your time, rewatch it, play around with it, practice with it. Probably the most important thing, core skill, other than editing files, is going to be moving files around and navigating them, and then the next thing is going to be like looking in the files and using them for things and organizing them. And this is Linux and Unix are really famous for this. This ability to do to mess with all the files. We haven't gotten into redirection, and I think when we get to the redirection and to the globbing and things like that, things will start to click and you can do where the power comes in. But we got to build up on top of that. Yeah, don't mess with sed or xargs right now. We got people asking what we've been trying to flesh out the list of the minimum possible things for you to learn when you get started. And sed and xargs and awk and tr. If you've heard about those things, just people love to tell you about those things first, but they're not necessary for a beginner at first. Okay. What is necessary for a beginner is this. So you should know how to cat to display lines in a file. Stands for concatenate. Grep, which actually will tell you the origin of the name when we get there. If anybody wants to guess, we could have a pot. Can anybody tell me the exact the origin of this word? Well, think about it. We'll talk about it later. This is just looks for the stuff, keywords and stuff in a file by line. File, which tells you the details about what the file is. It doesn't, this is actually more of a, you know what, this actually belongs up here with stat. We should probably do this one up here. Yeah, we should probably do, let's tell you more about what type of file it is. So there's file and there's stat, which we talked about in another video, to see exhaustive details about the file. Okay, so those are standard commands, POSIX commands. So they don't really go here. Okay, so let's do unique. That will help you sort all the lines of a file that are coming out in a way that can be organized. Which is kind of interesting. Which will tell you where a command lives, and it's kind of in, finding stuff in and out of files. This is more about finding the file itself, and so I don't know whether it goes here or in the other one. You can decide how I want to put something here. Not the same as type, which can get confusing. Okay, so this is so there we go. Unique to sort unique lines. I just don't know if these fit here. I guess they do. These are still, this actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's put this down here by find, because there definitely goes with find. All right, and then we have sort. Use sort to sort the lines that we are unique. WC to count things, so you can count lines and characters and files. This is actually really useful. I do WC all the time, and to see where command to see where the command follows. Let me just show you WC really quick. So like if I send this entire paragraph to the WC command, it will print out how many lines there are. Now, obviously, I could have counted them, right? But that's one example. It tells you how many characters are in them, even. So if I wanted to just count how many characters are in this line, I could send it to WC-C, and that will tell you there's 77 bytes in that line. All right, so those are all things we're going to talk about. I just was excited about that one because I use it all the time. Okay, so how are we doing? I'm going to clear the screen here, and let's get going. So first of all, we have cat, and we have our Kali Linux that we've been running. I actually don't like it because it takes too much space. I'm gonna drop it for today. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it. So which one should we do? Let's just do Ubuntu. Ubuntu. Assume that this stuff is gonna be over here. Do we have add user? Add user. I need a U account on here. Password. All right, so now I have a brand new account over on this really boring Ubuntu machine, kind of like yours, but it's a brand new container. I can throw it away and do whatever I want with it. Yeah. Okay, so here we have a container. Mine is not slimmer. Kidding. And what are we going to do here? So we need to practice the new command. So we're going to cat stuff. So first of all, did we cover echo? We keep using echo, but let's just use echo again. Here is something, and I'm going to send it to the file foo. So now I have a file called foo, and it's got 18 characters in it or so, and I want to see what's in it, right? But I don't know how to use an editor. In fact, I don't have an editor to use. So, or Emacs, I don't even have nano, right? There's nothing to do. So how do I see what's in it? Cat foo. Here is something. All right. Let's say I have two files. So copy foo to boo. And then I can cat both of those. Cat foo boo. Here is something. Here is something. Let's say I want to take both of those files and I want to cat them and then put them into a new file. Start up a brand new file. Foo boo. I don't know. Now I have a new file that's got foo in it, and we're doing a little bit with redirection that we haven't talked about yet, but that's what's going on. Okay, so cat is just to show you what's in a file. grep. So let's see. I want to see how many things are in that file. Well, let's actually echo something more interesting to my fubu file. Let's echo what. What, and I have to do two of those instead of one because it will kill it. If I do one, it'll delete it. So what, and then I'm going to do whoa, oopsie, I'm using my arrow keys here. I'm going to count, do echo. Let's do another one. Echo, whoa, to Fubu. Oh, I need 2 arrows or I would kill it. Just don't do that. Now what? So let's cat Fubu and see what's in there. All right, we got lots of stuff in there, right? So how many whats are in there? Grep what from Fubu. There's just one, and it found it. So I want to see all the lines that have something in there. All right, I want to see all the lines that have the word some in them. Some. Oopsie. Wrong thing. I did it wrong order. Some Fubu. So, okay, I got 2 lines that got something in it. Now, let's see. I want to look at, I don't want to just look at this file, but I want to look at every file. So let's say echo some other line to bar. We'll make a bar file. All right, so now I can do grep bar, grep some from bar. And I got one there. But what if I wanted to look at them everywhere? This is a command I use all the time. Grep-r, recursive, sum. That says this directory and all subdirectories. And as you can see, we have, so foo has something, fubu has some, bar has some other line, and boo, and then we see them all together. So that's grep to your, if you want to do it case insensitive, so let's actually try that. Let's break something. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing you can learn on your own, but so let's make some have a capital in it and append it instead of overwrite it. And it gives you a line number. Yep. So let's try it and I'll give you something here. And there you go. It tells you the exact line number even. So grep has got a ton of things, that none of which are in your container unless you add it. You have to unminimize, which we're not going to do right now. You might have done that already. My point being that you can find things. You notice how the capital S is not there? Because there's no I here. It stands for case insensitive, and then it will find that one as well. Here's something cool. You can reverse grep. You can say, okay, I want to find every line that doesn't have some. You guys are following with me on this. Give me every single line that does not have some. And boy, did it tell me every line. It's like, here's every program in this. Here's every line of everything. And you might want to send that to your pager so you can look at it. It's not as colorful. Actually, if you have less, you can get the color. Less has color in it built in if you want. So this says, okay, so here's every line inside of this directory recursively that does not have the word some in it. All right. If you want to train in this particular type of thing, Over the Wire has got some really great beginner stuff. So, and you can even do the whole thing in links. You don't even need to use a graphic browser. Overthewire.org, Over the Wire games, war games. Here's the war games over here. I almost don't even know what the page looks like because I've already been over here. It has a lot of it's beginner games. Bandit in particular. Bandit is really fun. It teaches you a bunch of this beginning Linux stuff. There's lots of other ways to go do this, but here's the one thing you can go do to look for that. Okay, so next, I'm really surprised that more people don't talk about Over the Wire. Some really big hackers, when they're asked, where should I go learn how to hack and stuff, they don't even know about it. It was actually students who taught me about it, that and Pico CTF, which is another one. So, so let's go. All right, back here. Unique. So unique is one of these other things that's in there. So how many unique lines do we have? All right, so this is where my skills are going to get shown. Unique just shows, now if you take some of this stuff off of here and, whoops, grep -r sum again, right? You'll see that there, the -r tells you what file type it is. But you see how Fubu has 2 files in it? So let's grab some Fubu. And so it's got 2 lines in it, right? Let's do unique on Fubu. What and whoa. Those are the only unique lines in the whole file. What does that mean? Well, what is in the file? So the file has got 2 lines that are not unique and 2 lines that are unique. So unique says, and unique is usually put into a pipeline, which we haven't covered yet, but unique tells you all the lines in the file that are unique, bottom line. And there's lots of things you can do with this. You can sort them, you can put numbers on them. I'm not going to get into all the details because there's a lot. But that is something you're going to do in that war game. You're going to do that a lot because you're going to have lots and lots of lines. You got to find only the ones that are unique, and that's how you would do that. Dealing with files and lines in a file is very, very common because you're dealing with logs and all kinds of different stuff in your debugging and stuff from the command line. So the stuff that's in this is really important. Sort, we already talked about. So, or in other times, but we could do sort. So sort FUBU. It's already sorted actually, so it's not going to do anything. Let's try another one. So let's do, I don't know. What if we did, oh, you could do sort dash R FUBU. How about that? Turn it upside down. Oh, I forgot to tell you about TAC. A lot of people don't know about TAC. So there's actually a reverse version of cat. And TAC is really cool because sometimes you just want to look at it in a different way. So cat FUBU goes beginning top to bottom. TAC FUBU goes bottom to top. So the line at the bottom is the first thing that comes out of it. And did we put head in here? No, we got to do that. All right, so this stuff you kind of almost always have to have with use head to display certain, let's see, number of lines at top, and tail in and out of files. If did I spell it wrong? Tail. I forgot about head and tail. There's so many of these commands that that I just take for granted. So, and I've given this some thought, but not a lot. So if we do this, cat and tac kind of does the same thing, right? But so you can do this. If you do, so FUBU, you do head -1, and you can just get the first line. I actually use this for my banner. So I have a banner command that prints the banner, and the banner is in my home directory, and I can cat the whole banner, and and you can see it has 2 lines, but sometimes I only want the top line. So banner, I just want the top line. So head -1 banner in and rev for displaying from left to right. I did not know about that. Is that a thing? I did not know that existed. Today I learned. So this is fun. So anyway, so this is what the banner script looks like that I wrote. Not too hard. Just print out to the screen in Figlet font banner, head -1 banner. So there's a good example of that. Tail is the same. Tail is the opposite. If you don't put a number on it, it's usually tail out with 1 or something. It'll do the whole thing. It'll do like some random number. So it's always, I would rather put a precision number. You can read all about it. Tail and head have tons and tons of options. So we'll let you go look at that. I've never used rev, so I have to do this. Is that a thing? You're just trolling me. Oh my God. I never knew that. Well, you know what? Let's do that when we get to the transformation site. I've never used it. I've never used that. Thank you for telling me about that. Never. I don't know why you would. So, okay, we got to use rev to reverse input. We got to put where we're going to put sed and awk and all that stuff. And I don't think we're going to get there actually. There's just so much to cover. We covered. I thought we covered jobs already. I know we covered job. Oh, I know what. We moved the jobs to different. We moved it. Wait, am I in the wrong place? Oh my God, I think I am. I think that was the problem. No, we are on day 9. Oh, I see why I got an error. I'm sorry, I have an error. All right, so we need to put all that into place. Rev, TR cut, and all that jazz. All right, so let's not do it right now. We're almost done. More or less. Yeah, we did that 2 days ago. Pagers. We did pagers a little bit ago. So grep unique sort WC to count lines. Okay, let's do that. We did sort. Let's do WC. I already did WC at the beginning of the video. It's not hard. WC just tells you how many of a thing there is. So if I WC Fubu, it will say there's 4 lines. What is that? Blocks? I don't remember. It's not bytes, is it? The other one's characters. That's the only one I ever use. It's words. A word is a non-zero length sequence of characters limited by white space. I've never used that. I'm sorry, I don't use stuff like that. That's a good thing to know, though. So if you want to see how many words is in a thing by white space and not by like typist method, there you go. 8 words. 8 total words in Fubu. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I think it's lying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine. I know you would think I would know about the word count. I have never once used WC for counting words. I'm embarrassed, but I haven't needed to. I have never. I knew what it stood for. I have just never used it for that. I never have. I always use it for line counting. They might as well kind of line count. They might as well call it line counting. I've used it for line counting, and I've used it for number of bytes. By the way, it's not number of characters. So if you put an emoji in there, watch. I'm going to show you. You put a big old fat emoji in there. Oh, God, it's not even going to do it. No, it doesn't want it. It ain't having it. Yeah, let's try this. So let's try to put a fat emoji in here. So bam. How many characters in that? Okay. Wait, let's actually count them. So 1, let's just do like 3 or 4. So that's 1 emoji, a space, and then 1, 2 characters, right? WC. See? 1 line. Wait, that's got 3 in it. Oh, no, that's right. That's right. 2. It says it has 2 words and 9 bytes. 9 bytes. It's not watercolor. No. So I don't see 9 of anything in there. Do you? So when we get to VI, I want you to see something about emojis. This is super important in the modern world. And you can't see it really well down here. It's kind of hiding it. So you see how this is? It's on. I know it's kind of grayed out, but see right here under my head. Here, I'll move. This right here says 1, right? Now watch when I move. Oh yeah, let's try that. So if you go over here, you see how it jumped to 5? Because that fat old tomato is like a 4-character emoji. It's bytes. Yeah, it's bytes. -M is probably the one that most people are going to want these days. So that will tell you the number of specific bytes. And you can get all these, by the way, individually, which I wasn't going to show you. L is the one I use all the time. Bytes. See the bytes? Yes. Hex dump and all that. You know, we're not going to put hex dump in the beginner stuff. I do think that stuff will show up in hacking. I don't know. What do you think? I just don't know if beginners need to know hex dump and all of the variations on that. There's so many different ones. We also need to know about tarring and all that. There's just a lot of stuff to learn for a beginner. it's really hard to know when to cut it off. But we'll do our best. So anyway, so I think we covered all of these. We covered which we find is the basic Unix pipes. No, we haven't covered the big one yet. So we covered count lines, characters, lines, characters, and bytes. Words, lines, words, characters, and bytes. Actually, no, we can do bytes and bytes and characters, I guess, and runes. I'm gonna call them runes. I love calling them runes. It's a Golang word, but I don't care. 2 bytes come from if the emoji is 4 bytes. No, it's an N64 and it unsigned N32. That's what they are. Yeah, we can cover that another day. Unicode is actually really fascinating. The guy who invented Go, I mean, I'm oversimplifying this, but one of the guys who invented Go also invented Unicode. We're talking about really big beginners. All right, so let's talk about stuff that does matter. I only have 1 minute left on this. Both of these videos have been pretty long. So let's talk about file types, though. So first of all, I still don't know if this goes in this section or not, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So if you want to find a command, so you type ls, you're like, you have a command called ls or wc, right? You have a command, but you don't know where it is. The fastest way to find a command is which. And which will look through the path, which you don't know about yet. That's your path. It's the order that all the stuff that's going to execute where it looks to find things. It normally looks like this. If you don't have my fancy schmancy thing, you can do a little trick for the path, by the way. I don't know if I should teach you to right now. Do you know about the trick? Do you know about the trick? You probably do. You probably know about the trick. Yes. No, messed it up. I'm trying to be cool, and it's not working. Just trying to be cool, and nothing's happening. There's a trick to do that. Still can't do it. I give up. There it is. I was very close. Oh, I was like really, really close. So yeah, this is a thing you can do that will like make it so you can see your stuff better if it's actually -e. We have to do print. Maybe not. You guys love watching me suffer, don't you? There we go. So there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Anyway, back to the variables. Wait, this one can go too. We don't need that one. Okay, so which just shows you where the command lives. So if you're trying to find something, right? If, however, it doesn't show up, so like if I do which ll, it's like there is no ll, right? Well, I have to cheat and make an alias for it first. ls_ll equals ls-l. This is very frequently already set on the system, right? So I got this ll command, right? If I do which ll, it's like, oh, there isn't one? What? Type ll. So type ll will tell you what it is. So that's why I put both of those together. And so it's not the same. And then we have the single most powerful command for finding anything. I will install Git Bash on a Windows machine, even if I don't have WSL or anything else on there, just to get find. The command-v is nice, but it's not the same. Command runs the command. Yeah, I don't like that one nearly as much. You can either use command or type to find a thing when you're shell scripting, but we'll get into that later. When you need to test whether a thing is on a system before you do anything, you're either going to use command, type, in some cases maybe which or find. But which is guaranteed to give you the executable. And by the way, I talked about this before, but if you want to see if something exists, you can \ll and it'll say, I don't know where it is. And if you've got something that you're already using that you don't think is what it should be, you can put / in front and it will actually disable the alias and use the actual command, which is here, instead of doing this one, which is the alias. And if I do type htop, you'll see that that's actually a different command in my case. Wait, type top is an alias for htop, but if I do \top, you get the right one. Okay, so I did that one before, but we're doing it again. Find. We're gonna have to cover find in its own video. I think this is more important with find. How about this? View and find stuff. You find inside of files. How about that? View, find. Let's see. View, search, and organize lines of a file. So we're going to keep all that together, and we're going to do find in its own video. Okay. I mean, really, find needs a video. It all by itself, it's really, really powerful. So, and we'll leave that there. I'm going to end that video because it's really long. Whew. I kind of need a break, but I feel like just powering through this. I kind of feel like we need to do pipes and indirection before we do find, because after talking about all that, pipes just comes next, like naturally. We did cat, didn't we? Cat, echo, pipes and indirection. And redirection. I don't know if you even call it redirection, but wait, there's more. Make FIFO. Oh man, I don't know if you use it. The power of find. I really want to do find well to beginners because I think it's super powerful for beginners. We can put rev over here just for fun. Is rot 13 built in? I think it is. Isn't it? Rot 13. You guys hanging in there? You got really quiet. Are we covering too much too fast? I mean, I didn't say it was going to be easy. I just said it was going to be covered. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, but still. I tell you what, let's take 5 minutes and then we'll do another session, last session for tonight. We could cut it because that's a lot to do. I mean, I need to make sure you guys understand everything. Okay. I really don't want to cover find like without getting. So I'm going to do redirection. I'm going to do this first because find's going to take about 20 minutes easy. I don't want beginners to skip the find command because it is so powerful. You can make your own Google, local Zettelkasten and search engine out of find and grep if you know how to use them. So the whole point of this boost is to give you the power of your local computer to maximum effect. A lot of people don't know they have this level of power on their computer without any extra internet connection or something. So that's what's up. And yeah, where's the guide going to be published? The guide is already published and it is at, boost. So that'd be giver, boost. So this is where it's at and you can go through it. It's constantly getting revised. So you can go look at it anytime. Eventually I'll have all the links to the videos. The videos are on YouTube. They're being published. They're also published on Twitch. So you can go look at the videos there. I don't know. I feel like 90 minutes is the maximum. It's funny too, because I actually read a thing that said 90 minutes was the maximum any class should ever go. Yeah. Name and type. Oh my God. I know, but it's so important that they learn that, right? Right. Name and type. Right. Exec and all that stuff. I think name and type are the best to do there. I'm going to go ahead and call it for tonight. In fact, I'm going to shorten the boost to 90 minutes a day, because the thing I'm starting to get afraid of is that there's too much for people to keep up with. And the last time we lost everybody on the boost, we were about 30 days in. Nobody could keep up, and they just stopped coming because they were frustrated and they couldn't keep up with stuff. So I feel like we've given them a lot of information, and especially if they're going to be able to watch the video before the next day and then do anything with the video. So I'm going to make a command decision on this, and we're going to reduce the time to 90 minutes. So if you want to jet today, that's fine. If you have to go, I think basic Unix pipes in direction. We'll do that tomorrow, and we'll do find. I think these probably would have been better to cover with the search and organizing lines, but that's fine. I think a lot of beginners are seeing like a list of all the commands that they have to go learn, and that's an overwhelming thing. I mean, this is literally like, I think 30 pages in the book. So yeah. I'm gonna do one thing right now here. Open live live cal, and we're gonna change the boost size time frame to. I'm gonna change it to be 7 to 8:30. Save this and all following events. All right, and that's fine. That should give us 2 or 3 solid videos. Or one really, two really long videos that really have to dive into depth, and that's honestly that's a class, right? That's a class. So, no, that book is, we are doing that from the book, but we're just not doing it in that order, and I'm covering it in kind of different ways. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, thanks for the sub, Brilliant. Let's see. I should start teaching bioethics in lab technicians, and it boosts in the middle of my class. You're talking about an hour later. I could start it at 8. There's some people who are going to hate that. There's some people who stay up. there's some people who stay up to watch it at 2 a.m. So. I mean, I'm kind of okay with that. No, I'm kind of okay with that, but and a lot of those people don't come. They just go watch the video. So I mean, 8, that would cover the most. Yeah, it's 2:30. I was going to say. So, I feel like we should keep it at this time. And I apologize for that, but I think shortening it to 90 minutes is going to be good for everybody. Yeah. It's 1:30 a.m. there. Yeah, you guys are tired. 90 minutes of watching Unix is not fun. I hope you're playing around with stuff as you do this with your own thing. And I do want to mention over the wire again, because that's the most entertaining way to learn all of those commands, all those sort commands and everything. And yeah, so what let's do. And I know that about myself. I can put people to sleep. So I just get a sense that you guys need a break. So let's keep the enthusiasm going. We'll go for 90 minutes straight. We'll get right to business, because I know a lot of you are coming here really, really late, and you don't like the banter. You just want to get busy. And I'll start doing that tomorrow. We'll shorten it to 90 minutes. That should allow you to watch it on your own time if you want to. And I probably, I know pretty well that I probably will be in here screwing around and bantering for about an hour before that this comes. And so actually I'm going to put that on the counter. So I'm going to put in for, because another thing too that we haven't had time for is Q&A. Most people don't dare to ask questions while we're busting videos out, and that's probably good, that we do that. So let me do that. Let's alter. This was so great about having, this is exactly how I ran SkillStack, by the way. We would alter the course as we went. We would change things that weren't working. We would tweak it, and we tweak it back if we had to. So I'm going to start putting just like a random AMA time, and we could just and we'll put that random time, but from 6 to 7, and then I'll just put that so that it's there for everybody. because I'm already going to be here, and that's only another extra 30 minutes. I'll be actually coding while that happens. You guys do whatever, and you can like drop by and ask questions. People have been asking me all day during work time, is now the time to ask you questions? I'm like, probably not. But I can promise you that, you know, between like 6:30 and 7, let's say, actually I'm going to change that to 6:30. I can't promise 6 that I do eat dinner. So, and most of the questions that get asked can be answered within 30 minutes. So, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's do repeats, weekdays, every weekday, Monday, Friday. It's kind of like office hours, right? And the other thing about that too is that we have music and everything, and then when the boost comes along, we can like drop it and stay back on and get going. All right. I actually am going to be back on coding tonight. I will have the camera off, but I will have the mic on, and I'm going to be writing a lot of code and working with Kubernetes and some cloud native stuff, and writing shell scripts and some Perl probably. So if you're interested in that, hang tight and then come on by. If not, let me know. Remember, github.com/rwxrob/boost to follow that. You can get the videos on YouTube. You can also sponsor me on YouTube for $2 a month if you want. The VOD is on Twitch instantly. Yep. The VOD will be on Twitch as soon as I hit save. So, the YouTube one has to wait for 1 day. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way they do it. And after that, you know, we can hang out. Hopefully you'll come back today or tomorrow. If you're trying to decide what to work on, go play around with other stuff. This is also, I think, another reason I think we should drop the actual number of videos down to an hour, if not, I think 90 minutes is perfect actually, because 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 times 1.5. What is that? Some number like 7.5 or something. That is a lot of time on a weekend to dedicate. So yeah. So we'll do that. That is going to push the boost out for a longer duration. But I feel like that's going to be more acceptable to more people's schedules. And those people who want to go into it deeply can, and those people that want to do the minimum can do that as well. All right. I'm going to go ahead and save this video. See you guys later. I'll be back on in a bit.